Hi and welcome to PolyOriginals and to Fiona Abel-Smith. For today's project I thought we'd have a little bit of fun and do a very quick and easy no blend petal cane. Gives nice results. Each time you get the results they are slightly different, so don't expect yours to look exactly the same, but it's quite nice and versatile, particularly if you don't have a pasta machine or if you don't like doing skinner blends. Virtually no equipment for this one because all we're doing is making a cane, but I'll put a list of everything you do need in the details below the video for you. So let's get right to it. For today's project I'm using Fimo Soft, but all well-known brands of polymer clay will work equally well for this technique. I've gone for pieces of white, mint, peppermint, brilliant blue, and they're going to create the background of the petal. Then for the insert I've gone for rose and raspberry, and then to wrap and for the little sort of line of the stem that's going to be in plum. And each of these amounts are 1/4 ounce of 7 grams. First thing I'm going to do is condition all of the clay in their separate colours, and when I condition my clay I use a pasta machine, but of course you can roll, or with these amounts you can just warm it gently in your hand. If you're unsure how or why we condition polymer clay, I do have a tutorial on this and I'll put a link to that in the details below this one for you. And what I want to do with all of these pieces is get them into strips. These are all conditioned, and as I say I've put them into strips and I've made them roughly the same width because I'm going to start putting these together. And if you want to know how to get the piece the width you want, simply fold it in the width you want, so it's roughly the same, and either roll by hand or put it down through your pasta machine if it's one that's dedicated to polymer clay use, and that would end up with a strip that was the right size as well. As we're working with small amounts of clay, I've put all these through on a thin-ish to medium to thin setting on my pasta machine, so setting number 4. And if you're rolling by hand in between 2 stacks of playing cards, then I'll put a link in the details below telling you what the equivalent thickness is in the number of playing cards you need. We're going to start with our petal background, so I'm going to use these 4 colours, and all I'm going to do is overlap these in their long form. And working with my local group, we had a play around with this last weekend, and what seemed to work best was if you overlapped probably about a third-ish of the length of your piece. So quite a good overlap, but still leaving some of the colour showing. So I'll put those 2 together, and then I'm just going to roll over them to make sure they're joined. Release them from the tile, and then do the same with the next colour. So put it over, I'm going to leave a little bit where I've got some of that colour showing by itself, roll over and release from the tile. Same for the last piece. And now I have a longish strip with those colours all overlapping each other. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down through my thinnest usable setting on my pasta machine, which for me is setting number 9, till I get as long and thin a strip as I can. If you're rolling it by hand, then simply roll it by hand to get as long and thin a strip as you can. I'm then going to concertina this into a block which is probably about 1/2 inch, 1¼ centimetres wide. Don't make it too wide, you want it quite thin, this concertina, and just start from one end and work all the way through to the other. If it tears or snaps in two, that's fine, simply patch it together. Once you finish, we're going to neaten this off, compress it to make sure there's no air trapped inside, and we want a block that says probably about 1/2 inch, 1.25 centimetres wide, and probably about 3 inches, 7.5 centimetres in length. So as you can see, I took some time to make sure that's a fairly neat block, that all the edges are sort of pushed in together, and hopefully there'll be very little air trapped inside that. Now I've gone longer than I would normally do when I'm making a cane, but we're about to chop this into slices, and then we're going to chop the slices in half. So to save you having to work a lot to get this reduced in the right shape, if we make it slightly wider to begin with, then there'll be less reducing. And the important thing is we're going to take slices along this way, so horizontally along the lines of our clay. If you want the same effect as I'm going for, don't cut it that way, because you'll end up with lots of lines going across your petal, although that can look quite jazzy, so if you want that look, go for it. But for what I'm doing today, we're going for the slightly more subdued, where we have the lines going up across to the top of the petal. I've decided that I want the blue at the top of my petal, so I've got the blue facing away from me, and all we're going to do is we're going to chop down through this and create 3, 4, 5, 6 slices of this, however many you feel comfortable with, and depending on the size of the block you have got. And when I'm cutting down through something like this, I will do it slowly, and I will look from one side to the other, moving around so I can see where the blade's going from one side to the other as I chop down. So I went through 6 times, but I say you don't have to do that, and it doesn't matter if they're not completely neat. This is a petal, it's a natural thing, so don't worry about being completely exact. And what we then do is we lay that one on its side, lay this one next to it, but not up to the top, so we're overlapping them again. Same with that one, and that one, that one, and that one. And then what we're going to do is we're going to press down hardish on these 2 end pieces, and then sort of just push slightly up towards the middle, because what we're hoping to get is a slight raised triangle with a high point here where most of the slices overlap, and going thin towards the edge. You can push them up that way if you want to, slightly, to make sure that all the edges are lying flat against the one next to it. And then we'll lift the whole thing up to see what we got. And that's sort of what we're going for, a sort of a triangular shape. If you want to, you can push it in slightly. And when I'm pushing in, I'm using my thumb and my finger, and I'm going from the outside towards the middle. Not pulling it out, pushing it in. Just do that a couple of times. Make it go slightly more pointed, so we've got more raised up in the middle, and then we will chop down through the middle. And what you should see is all those lines going up through. Now, every time I've done this, it's come out slightly differently, and yours will be different as well, but I think it gives quite a nice sort of petally look, and so you've got those lines going up in the direction they should be going in. Next thing to do is decide whether you want an insert or not. If you do, decide roughly where you want to put it, so I'd probably put it, actually I quite like that bit at the top, so I don't want to disturb that too much. I'll probably put it about there. So make a mark where you want your insert to be. With your roller, create a small groove. Obviously, depending on the size of the roller, you can sort of change the size of the groove you want, so that's going to be just enough that I can then put an insert in the middle. To create the insert, we've got our pink and our raspberry, and I'm just going to do the same again, overlap them. You can do it fractionally more, probably sort of just more, slightly more than a third, because you've only got the 2 colours. And again, roll, and either put through the pasta machine or roll by hand to make it as long and thin as you can. As before, concertina from one side to the other, about that same thickness, about ½ an inch, 1 1/4 centimetres. And then neaten into an oblong. Doesn't need to be quite as long this time, so probably about 1.5 inches, 4 centimetres should be fine. Decide which side you want to have towards the top, so I'm going for the white towards the top, and then again slice down 3, 4, 5 times, however many you are comfortable with. Lay them flat and overlap. Push on the ends. Same thing, push the layers over each other, always going in the direction in which you've added them on. And then we'll chop that in half and see what we've got. And there again you've got that nice pattern of the lines going up, one colour at the bottom, one colour at the top. All I'm going to do now is press that into more of a diamond shape. And again, I'm using that motion with my fingers, thumb and finger pushing in together. And then I'm going to turn it on its side and reduce it in a roughly square shape until I've got it the right size to fit as an insert. And this is more than I need, so when I get towards the size I want, I will probably chop off a bit and then just keep a small piece the right size and put the rest on one side for use in something else later. Put it up to your cane to decide the size you want, so I want it a bit smaller still. And then when it's more of the size I want, I'm just going to round off the edges, slightly round off the top, but keep the bottom slightly more pinched. And then I'm going to cut one piece the right width for the cane it's going to sit into. And then completely up to you, but what I'm planning on doing is wrapping this and then creating a line down the middle. So for that we're going to use that plum colour. So here's the piece I had earlier. So again, I'm going to put this through on my thinnest usable setting, or roll it as thin as you can between two playing cards. Cut the clay so it fits around the insert. And wrap it in one layer. Cut away the excess. That then sits whichever way up you decided, so I wanted the white towards the top. Put it on one side only of your cane and then add the extra clay down towards the bottom, cut off the excess and put your two halves together. And the only thing left to do now is to press it in slightly from top and bottom towards that insert to make sure that you've got no trapped air and no gaps, and then reduce your cane in whatever shape and size you want. So for me, I've still got roughly a diamond shape, so I can turn it on its side and reduce it in that shape. So I'm pressing in gently whilst pulling longer, and keep doing that until you've got the size and shape you want. So I've reduced it down, sort of rounded the size and the top slightly, and then we'll chop down through to see what we've got. And there is your no blend petal cane. And what I can do now is I will take 5 or 6 slices and then put them together to make a little flower. I've got some of the plum clay. Put it through a medium setting of the pass machine. I'll just cut out a small round, whatever shape you want. And then I'll gently, to start with, place my petals on there, just to see how they fit. And then you can manoeuvre them until you've got them nicely put together. Then gently, either with your fingers or with the roller, just roll those into place. And then I'm going to take a little of the plum clay, grate around, pop that in the middle. Just use my cable needle to make a little dot. And if you wanted, you could add a diamante or some other little decoration or bead in the middle, just to sort of jazz it up and bring it to life. I will bake that on a tile wrapped in aluminium foil to protect the piece should the oven spike during the baking process, and bake according to the manufacturer's instructions for the brand of clay you are using. Once it's baked, you can add a brooch back on to make it into a brooch or a pin. Before you bake, if you want to make it into a pendant before you bake or afterwards, either put in a hole beforehand or drill one afterwards, or add a little bail on the back to create a nice pendant. And of course, if you do smaller ones, you can do the same with earrings. Or if you're into your card making, then this would make a really nice topper for a card. So whatever you want to do, have fun with it. And that was the No Blend Petal Cane. I hope you enjoyed that one, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to those of you who subscribe. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this one, and hopefully I'll see you next time for some more polymer clay fun.